coming from 2 down in the third to win it by a score of 4-3. Here's Nate Thompson on the faceoff at center ice. He's tied up in the draw by Corshane. Played off the right boards and down ice into the Seattle zone by Vancouver. Bridges behind that to play it. Around the boards right side, Fitzgerald absorbs the blow by Bruce and got it to center ice. Metcalf knocks it on side through his skates. Thompson trailing the play, poked it into the corner. Nate behind the goal, coming out near side, wrapped it through the crease from near post to far, and no one could get a stick on it. And the Giants tip it down ice into the Seattle zone. Scott Jackson will chase it off the right boards. Slide it ahead for Gertzen. And Gertz tipped it off the skate of Corshane, but got it to center ice. Thompson off the left boards will dump it in. After it goes Gertzen, as Metcalf going to the bench on a change. Gertzen in behind the Vancouver goal, trying to drop it around the boards right wing. Coming off the bench, Miser trying to play it. Held it off the right boards, but could not control. Dumped it behind the Vancouver goal. It's chipped to center ice by Vancouver in front of the benches. Back to the Seattle blue line, Clayton Barthel banging off the boards, trying to get it forward for Gibbons. Deflected by Bruce, brought on side by Corshane. He's taken out the play, and a penalty coming up on Seattle as Corshane got hooked down. Actually, they're going to call tripping here against the T-Birds. So an early power play chance for Vancouver as Justin Miser will be going off at the 1:02 mark of the period.
And Tom, this is just what we were talking about, the special teams being a factor. It's actually Barthel the penalty is on as Miser heads back over to the bench. They had the wrong number headed in.
1 extra 2 on the jersey. So power play for the Giants. 8th overall in the league with the man advantage, but the T-Birds win the faceoff in their own zone, and Cole Simpson will slide it down the near boards and dump it down ice. Vancouver will regroup in behind their own goal and begin the rush up ice, coming up the boards right wing. Drop past the blend out to center with it comes Logan. He will throw it across the Seattle blue line, kicks behind the net. Bridges to try to play it around the near side boards for Gagnon, knocked down off the half wall by Bartley. In behind the goal to May. May in front, taken by Seattle. Nice job by Johnner. Got it to Gags, breaking right wing Johnner. Gags jumps 2-on-2. Johnner winds up, hard shot, head save. Gags coming right down the slot. Tried to get his backhand on that one, had to reach, could not get it. Here come the Giants the other way, 2-on-2. It's played right through the front of the Seattle net, off the near boards by Gagnon. He'll lift it to the blind, off a glove, and good job there by Brulea making sure that puck didn't get behind him after he knocked it down, because Johnner was sneaking behind him, would have gone the other way uncontested. Logan brings it back on side right wing, throw it in front, tipped at the near post to the near boards as Simpson tied up Kalush. Did not allow him to get to the front of the Seattle goal. T-Birds clear to the boards, but not out. Trying to walk off the boards. Bartley lost the puck, poked it free, knocked it down into the corner. T-Birds missed the clearing a chance there by Jackson. Cole Simpson slides it to Gertzen. Gertzen's got Thompson coming with him. He'll flip it to center ice, though. Thompson chasing Brule back in the front of the net. Thompson gets there at the same time, pokes the puck free. Thompson had it swept away from him by Brule off the half wall left of the Vancouver goal. 35 seconds left on the Vancouver power play. 2.5 minutes into the first period, no score. Seattle doing a good job of the penalty kill, keeping Vancouver down in their own zone for a few seconds. Now here comes Vancouver on side. There's a shot blocked in the high slot by Fitzgerald. He drives Grant into the right boards, comes loose to Lynch in the corner right of the Seattle net. Huxley on him, got it free. Gertzen's got it. He'll flick and go to the Seattle bench. That just about does it for the power play as Harsula trying to force the goaltender to play that puck and turn it over. And now Harsula races to the bench and he goes off as the penalty just about over on Barthel. And Vancouver's first power play goes for naught, only getting one shot on goal here in the game so far, and that belongs to the T-Birds. So no shots on that power play for Vancouver. Tyson March at center will dump it down the right boards into the Seattle zone. Bridges plays it behind the net. Huxley comes to get it from his goaltender and played out the right side to JR. Roberts for Seattle coming out of the zone, trying to feed it up the left side through the neutral zone to Gagnon. Was off his stick back to the Vancouver zone. The Giants in front of their own goal play it. Right side boards to Lynch, trying to tip it out. Roberts kept it in. Dumped in behind the Vancouver goal. Marsh coming out left side, using the glass to get to the blue line. Stolen by Jason Roberts, throwing it down low. T-Birds in front, backhand shot, and it goes wide at the right post. And again, Gagnon on that shot by Farmanara through the slot. Could not get his backhand on it as he was skating by. He just took himself too far away from the puck as he came down the slot left side, but a great pass into the slot by Farmanara. Here comes Vancouver's Lynch. His shot scores through the 5-hole. He beats Bridges, and Brian Bridges would like to have that one back because he was squared to the shooter, but he forgot to close the front door.
And how many times, Tom, have you seen a good opportunity, scoring opportunity at one end of the ice, end up in a better one at the other end of the ice? Darren Lynch with the goal for Vancouver, his 7th on the year, even strength at .358.
And Lynch, in the years he's played here, the last couple of years with Vancouver, has always played well against Seattle, and he's picking up where he left off with that goal from the right face-off circle. Took the shot from just about at the face-off dot. Bridges, as we said, was square to the shooter, but it went right through the pads. So Lynch gets his 7th at 3:58 of period 1, so the T-Birds will have to come from behind again. Down 1-0, just about 4 minutes into the period. While they do some repair at the other goal down to our left, let's take a timeout. T-Birds trail it 1-0 on Thunderbird. Here comes Seattle through the neutral zone. Fitzgerald onside. Miser puts a shot on goal. Knocked away at the right post off the blocker of the goaltender McLaughlin. T-Birds off the half board wide of the Vancouver net trying to fish it out. Taken by Vancouver in behind their own goal. Dumped around the boards left side. The blue line tipped to center ice. Bruce chips it to the Seattle blue line. Fitzgerald trying to knock it out. It comes through the front of the Seattle slot to the blue line. Held in by Vancouver. Swept to the right boards. Poked down low by Vancouver. After it goes Fitzgerald behind his own net, tied up by Jamison Orr. Comes out left wing to Miser. Justin will break left wing. Gets to the center ice red line, rubbed off the puck, dumps it in. Icing called against Seattle, except for the goaltender coming out to play it, so icing is waved off. Drop pass right wing and out of the zone by Vancouver. Played back to the Seattle blue line by Nate Thompson. Back in front of his own net to Cole Simpson. High off the glass, right side and out. Vancouver waiting for the puck back near their own bench in the neutral zone. They slide it down ice into the Seattle end. T-Birds get it to center ice, picked up by Gertzen. Gertz will break across the blind left wing. Throws it in front. Metcalf coming off the right circle. Couldn't get there in time. Back to the point. Simpson holds the zone. Dump it toward the goaltender. And it's gloved up at the left post. And McLaughlin will hold on. Face up in the Vancouver zone down to our left. Well, hockey fans, if your busy lifestyle just won't let you go to Key Arena for every T-Birds game, then create your own ticket package with Seattle Thunderbirds pick plans. Check your schedule, then pick 6, 12, or even 18 of the best games of the year. You'll save time and money, plus get the best seats for the biggest games. Pick ticket plans start at just $96. All the details available by calling the T-Birds, 206-448-PUCK. You can also log on to the website, seattlethunderbirds.com. Play in the neutral zone near the red line, near boards. Huxley knocked it down off the glass with a glove. Topeko trying to play the carom. Brings it down ice. Onside he comes with Farmanara. Farmanara trying to hold up and then anticipate. DT bringing that puck into the zone, but he left the starting gate a little too soon there, and he's offside, so the face-off will be back outside the Vancouver zone.
That's a case where two fast guys in Topeko and Farmanara, you guess wrong and you're offsides.
Off the face-off, Topeko back to Jackson. Center ice near boards, dumped in by the T-Birds. Behind that it goes Fistrick after it in the Vancouver zone. Sweeps it back in his net, behind his net for Logan. Around the boards, Jackson waiting for it at the point. Was knocked down off the half boards by Topeko. Coming off the wall, back to the blue line. It pokes out of the zone. Here's Barthel shooting it back in for Seattle. T-Birds going to change up behind the play. Vancouver back on their own end of the ice. Fistrick a little trouble, but he got the puck to the blue line, held in by Nate Thompson. In front, Topeko back to Thompson in the circle. Skates in front, try to get that puck back on the backhand, but it got flipped away from him before he got the shot on net as he cut through the slot. Here comes Krause. He'll fire it in on goal. Steered into the corner by Bridges. After it goes Barthel, right of the Seattle net. Back to the blue line, off the bench on the ice. Marsh, shot on net, rebound left in front, right through the skates of Bridges and wide out the near side. Back toward the front of the Seattle goal where Thompson trying to flick it up. Gertzen played it off the near boards. He'll lift it to center ice. Vancouver was changing up. Their defensemen were coming onto the ice. Actually, it's Brule who goes back to get it in his own zone. He gets hammered up against the boards behind the goal, but he played it around the right side. It comes to center ice. Made by Seattle's Cole Simpson back at his own blue line. He throws it up into the Seattle bench. So play will stop. We'll have a face-off coming up. When we come back, at first a 30-second timeout. It's T-Birds down by 1 to Vancouver on T-Birds Radio.
Almost down by 2.
Not such a good start so far for Double B.
Nice. Oh,
Penalty.
it's got to be. I was going to say if he doesn't call one, I'll go nuts. Kneeing.
6:57.
Bartley.
We come back to action. A penalty on Vancouver will give Seattle their first power play of the game. Mitch Bartley going off at 6:57 of period number 1. T-Birds' power play so far this season has not been what they'd hoped for. It's only 16th overall in the league. 13 goals on 90 chances. And the puck gets knocked up into the netting behind the Vancouver goal. In the unique aspect of Key Arena, if you want to call it that, because the end zone to our right ducks under the upper grandstand. No need for that netting behind the goal at what is now the Seattle end of the ice. But
a
netting,
lot like the arena in Phoenix.
Here's Metcalf, brings it onside for Seattle. Tied up along the near board, spins away from Corshane, drive it down low. Off the half wall, back on top to Jackson. Jackson trying to go through the skates of Corshane, knocked it out of the zone. Corshane stumbled on the puck, so he couldn't break the other way. Jackson tried to feather it through the skates, but Corshane did a good job of blocking that. Here's Johnner coming back onside with Metcalf. He'll take it to the high slot. Johnner, right circle, wind-up shot on the crease, on the doorstep, cleared away by Vancouver. Shot from the right circle, on net. Left in the crease, T-Birds couldn't knock it in. Here's Metcalf back on side left wing, but they'll whistle him actually for offside. But and that is the story of the T-Birds. We're going to look at the replay here. The shot taken from the right circle by, was that Adam Huxley? And McLaughlin stopped it, but the puck actually got behind him. It was sitting in the crease, but the Vancouver defenseman got there before Seattle could.
That's 3 opportunities here early on in the game. Seattle's had to finish in front of the net and struggled to do so. The penalty on Bartley was actually for kneeing at 6:57.
And that has been, unfortunately, the most consistent part of the T-Birds game early, creating scoring chances but not finishing them. As the puck taken out of the zone by Vancouver, dumped into the Seattle end. And after Cole Simpson, he'll slide it up along the near side boards, taken off the play. Dumped down low by Heyman behind the Seattle goal. Bridges out to play it. Flicked it around the boards near side. Racing to the puck comes Gertzen. Gets there at the same time Heyman does. Heyman poked the puck down low. T-Birds wasting some valuable power play time trying to get out of their own end of the ice. Finally, Cole Simpson gets to the loose puck. Drop it to center to Farmanara. He'll dump it in. Gags giving chase with 2 Vancouver players in the corner. Gets there at the same time as Bruce. Goes off of his skates. Vancouver trying to chase it up the boards right wing. Back to the one. Cole Simpson has it. Fires it on goal. Low on the glove side. Save made by the goaltender. Flips it out. And Heyman will shoot it down ice with 25 left on the Seattle man advantage. Seattle changing up as Cole Simpson comes back to get it from his goaltender. 11:19 to go in the first. T-Birds trail it by 1. Simpson coming to center ice, gets to the red line and fires it in. Kicks in behind the goal. Ryan Gibbons after it for Seattle. It takes a funny hop off the dashers before it got to him, and that allows Vancouver to get to that loose puck and clear it down ice. The dashers here in the key have a life of their own, and they're not necessarily friendly for the home team. T-Birds chase it on side. Miser off the half wall, trying to go down low. Tied up along the boards, trying to spin it loose. Spins it into the circle, overskates the puck, trying to get it back, popped it in the air, loose to the blue line, and Scott Jackson was kind of caught flat-footed going back out of the zone as the puck came to him. He had to chase it back to center ice. Back to the blue line in the Seattle end with it, Harsula. Penalty is over, team's back at even strength. Harsula onside, there's a shot by Miser off the left boards that goes wide. Barthel will hold out the point. Down goes Harsula trying to get to it. Taken by Vancouver out of the zone left wing. Chased in front of the benches. Harsula gets back there to tie up Tristan Grant. The puck sent back on the Seattle goaltender by Clayton Barthel, and Bridges will cover up with 10:17 to go in period number 1. Thunderbirds hockey and tonight's first period is brought to you by Amtrak and the Cascades T-Bird fan train. A safe and relaxing way to travel to Portland to see the T-Birds take on the Hawks. Check the schedule for game dates and call 1-800-USA-RAIL to reserve your seat.
Shots on goal even at 4 with 10:17 left in period 1.
Zach Fitzgerald gets the puck out of the zone. Tyler Metcalf chasing it center ice left wing, knocked it down. Fitzgerald got it, played it back in. Then he got hammered off his skates by Brule. Played by Vancouver in their own zone, coming to the blue line, but knocked down before it got there by Seattle. Thompson off of his skate, couldn't control it. Poked to center ice. Vancouver, Brule has it. The young 16-year-old brings it across the blue line, gets Cole Simpson off his skates, put it in front. Nate Thompson steals that pass at the hash marks intended for Krause. Here comes Metcalf, right wing onside with Thompson. Cole Simpson trailing the play. Metcalf tied up along the fireboards by Mark Ashton. Puck hits the back of the Vancouver net. Gertzen with a big hit, trying to loosen that pack up. Cleared out of the zone, though, by Vancouver. Jackson cross-ice to Thompson, dumps it, goes to the bench. Seattle changing up with 9.5 to go in the first period. Vancouver up the boards, right wing to Krause, coming to center ice. Tipped it rink wide through the neutral zone at the red line. Kalush will dump it in. Goes behind the Seattle net. Brian Bridges after it. Topeko. The referee skated right in front of Dennis as that pass was coming to him. and kind of screened Dennis on the pass, and Dennis gave him kind of a dirty look after that pass went off his stick out of the zone. Meanwhile, Vancouver brings it back in onside. I wonder if the referee, Daryl Mitchell, speaks any Russian.
I don't know if it mattered on that one as Topeko goes to the bench without motioning anything else, but you got to keep yourself out of the way there. I mean, obviously it's hard to do sometimes, but
Face off outside the Seattle blue line as the puck played by Corshane back to the center ice red line. Fistrick will dump it in across the Seattle zone. Bridges leaves it behind the net, almost gave it up to the Vancouver players. Trying to center it from behind the goal was Lynch. T-Birds knocked it back in behind their own net. Here's Meiser chipping it off the near boards and getting it out. Icing waved off. That forces Fistrick to get back there with Johnner hustling behind him. Got the puck up the boards, right winged and sent to center ice. Jackson waiting for his team to get back on side. Will dump it back in. McLaughlin knocks it down behind the goal. Logan trying to shoot it out. High off the glass to the line. Kicked on side by Huxley. Knocked away by Corshane. To center ice it comes. Chased up across the Seattle blue line by Bruce. Shot on the glove side. Knocked away by Bridges at the near post. Jackson trying to play it out from behind his own goal. Here comes Johnner to help as the puck tied up in Bruce's skates. Seattle will clear it up the boards. Left wing past Fistrick at the point. Off of his shoulder down ice, so icing waved off. Seattle changing up as the puck comes to center, tipped in across the Seattle blue line. This will be an icing call against Vancouver. We'll take a timeout. 8 minutes to go in the first. Seattle's down by 1 on T-Birds Radio.
Bridges doesn't look like he's
awake.
Yeah, that would be a word, yeah.
Nice opportunity there, DT.
Icing again?
Yep. Vancouver 11 wins coming into play tonight in 19 games, the fastest they've gotten to 11 victories in their 3-year history. As we said, atop the BC Division standings after the win last night over second place Kamloops. Face-off in the Vancouver zone following the icing is to the right of McLaughlin. Jason Roberts on the face-off, tied up in the circle by May. The puck to Marsh behind the goal out the left side of the blue line and tipped to center ice. At center ice, Vancouver will shoot it to the Seattle zone. Knocked out by the T-Birds. Topeka trying to push it forward for Harsula. Harsula and Topeka will bring it on side. Harsula got knocked into the zone ahead of the play. And an interference penalty coming up on Vancouver for that hit on Harsula, who was trying to make his way outside the blue line so he wouldn't be offside. Vancouver player knocked him back in. So interference called here will give Seattle their second power play chance of the period, as it's Tyson Marsh, team captain, going off for the Giants.
12:24, the time of the penalty. Nick Harsula, Vegreville, Alberta. Native, one-time home of former Seattle Thunderbird Brent Severin, who won a Stanley Cup with Dallas in '99.
T-Birds' second power play of the night, 0 for 1 on the power play as the puck shot down ice by Vancouver off the draw. Jackson inside his own blue line, tied up by May along the near boards. It comes free. Johnner chasing it down at his own blue line away from Heyman. Throws it back on his own goaltender, gets it back. Gertzen up the boards to center ice left wing, comes kicking back to Gertzen at the Seattle blue line. He'll bring it to the neutral zone, dump it in. Johnner going after it, but first to get to it is Chapman for Vancouver. Johnner lifted his stick from behind. The puck comes sliding back along the boards. T-Birds trying to get it back to the point. Jackson, wind-up shot. That one sails high and wide. All the way behind the net, out the right side, Gertzen. He'll flick it behind the net for Metcalf. To Johnner. Johnner coming out of the corner. Throw it in front for Thompson. Knocked away and cleared down ice by Vancouver. Bridges coming up to play the puck to Jackson. Vancouver changing up. Metcalf brings it back on side. Back to Thompson. Whips a shot on goal. Blocker save at the right post. Just outside the crease by McLaughlin. T-Birds get it back on top to Gertzen. Feathers a shot toward the goal. Deflected. T-Birds back on top. Jackson at the blue line. Throws it on net again. Knocked down. The puck cleared in front of the net to the right boards, and Vancouver will shoot it down ice. 56 seconds left on Seattle's power play as Bridges slides it behind his own goal. Gertzen plays it back behind the Seattle net. Looking to break up ice. He'll carry it himself to center. Looking to pass left wing onside. Farmanara in stride. Falling down as he tried to cut into the slot. The puck loose there. Tipped down by Topeko. And it goes up into the seats, or actually hit the netting. Either way, it's out of play. And so the face-off coming up in the Vancouver zone. It did go over the glass, so they get a new puck off the scorer's table. 39 seconds left on the Seattle man advantage. Face-off just above the right circle in the Giants' end. Aaron Gagnon scored twice last night for Seattle, wins the draw. Back to the blue line with it, Simpson trying to drop it right wing for Topeko. Bangs it behind the net. Logan gets there for Vancouver, trying to shoot it out. Knocked down by Topeko off the half boards. DT slide it back on top. Simpson, cross ice, Fitzgerald. Right circle. Shoot. And they do. Topeko shot. Did that hit the crossbar?
Either that or up around the face of McLaughlin.
Knocked in behind the Vancouver goal. Simpson trying to hold his own. Can't. Vancouver looking to break the other way. Here they come, 2-on-2. Farmanara recovers into the slot. Shot on goal. Save is made by Bridges. Simpson the other way. 6 seconds. T-Birds have it 3-on-2. 6 on the power play. Simpson will carry the puck inside the zone. Lost it. The penalty is over. T-Birds behind the net. Topeko coming out from behind the goal. Circles back in behind the net. Coming around far side. Top of the blue line. Simpson whips his shot high on goal. Knocked down underneath the goaltender McLaughlin. T-Birds right in front of it. Farmanara couldn't find it. Out to center it comes. T-Birds back at their own blue line. Simpson. Fitzgerald dumps it down ice. Icing called against Seattle. 5:12 to go. Period number 1. T-Birds trailing it 1-0. Now 0 for 2 on the power play. Vancouver, as we said coming into play tonight, was second best in the West when it comes to killing off penalties, and they're showing their prowess for killing penalties so far tonight.
And if you got points for how close you got, Tom, the T-Birds would be leading in this game.
Yeah, if they were the Seattle Horseshoes or Hand Grenaders, they would be in first place. Here's the play in the Seattle zone off the left boards. Roberts pokes it behind his own net. Scott Jackson coming after it, trying to sweep it out the right side. Darren Lynch chased it down for Vancouver, pushed it back behind the Seattle goal to Corshane. Driven around the right side boards. Played there by Justin Meiser. Meiser trying to fight around the hit to get it for Roberts. Roberts lost it just inside his own blue line. Shot on goal from the blue line by Marsh. Save made by Bridges. Stops the clock with 4:45 to go in the first period. You know, take a look at the tail of the tape for these two teams. They met on opening night in Vancouver. Skated to a 4-4 tie. In fact, Seattle had a 4-2 lead in that game. Or I should say had a 2-0 lead in that game, then fell behind 4-2. They came back to tie it. But the two teams have gone in opposite directions since opening night. It was probably Seattle's best offensive performance when you consider the caliber of opponent. I know they've had a couple of shutout wins at home here where they've scored as many goals. But there's a hand pass against Seattle. That really kind of the high water mark for them. They had a 2-0 lead 10 minutes into the season up in Vancouver. Scored 4 goals in the first 40 minutes on opening night. Face off near center ice, off the near boards at the red line. Huxley back to his own zone to play it. Adam, of course, with a shortage of Seattle defensemen playing back at the blue line, paired up right now with Simpson. T-Birds meanwhile slide it down ice. McLaughlin slides in behind his goal to play it. Marsh around the boards and up the boards right wing, and it comes out of the zone off the stick of Kalush. But I believe another 2-line pass has been whistled against Vancouver. So the faceoff comes back toward the Giant zone down to our left with 4:15 to go in period number 1. T-Birds down by a goal. Take a break and come back with more on T-Birds Radio.
Can we get goals with that water order? Because I'll order it if I have to. And some goals along with it.
Nice job, Gibby. Now get, oh, nice job. .345 to go, period 1. Ryan Gibbons trying to loosen that puck up, does. Got it back to Huxley, blue line shot, knocked wide, redirected. I believe John or Meiser just redirected it wide at the near post. And the breaks again, not going the T-Birds' way, but they are getting traffic. Here's Meiser with a quick shot blocked in the high slot, picked up by Gibby, flicks it toward the net. Johnner shot wide on the redirect. Another shot coming out from behind the net at the right post, knocked away by McLaughlin. T-Birds creating some chances here in the latter stages of the first period, but again, snake bit. There seems to be a forced field in front of that opposing goal that keeps the puck from going in when they shoot. Meanwhile, the T-Birds guilty of icing the puck.
Reminds me of that old commercial on ESPN. I believe it was John Van Beesbrook that they had a piece of plexiglass in front of it, and he turns around and shines it up. Everything going wide or off the body of McLaughlin somewhere tonight. He may not even see it, but he seems to be stopping everything. He's got 10 saves with 3 minutes remaining in period 1.
Face off in the T-Bird zone, left of Bridges. Gagnon gets way down to the circle. Farmanara will take the draw for Seattle against Heyman. T-Birds win the face-off, played it to Fitzgerald, off the glass to the blue line, knocked down there at the point. Coming over to try to knock it loose, Topeko, a big hit on Chapman, got it free. Played to center ice, back to the Seattle blue line off the right boards. Parthel chipping it back out of the zone. Gagnon takes his man up into the Seattle bench just about Ashton. Puck popping at the Seattle blue line near boards. Fitzgerald trying to throw it headman pass to Farmanara. He's knocked off the play at the center ice red line. Picked up by Barthel, back along the far boards at his own bench. Trying to play it through the neutral zone. It comes back to him. Looking to go cross ice left wing Topeko, but it's a two-line pass against Seattle, and so the whistle stops play with 2:36 to go. If you ever take two magnets and you turn them around and try to get them to stick together, and how that they just won't do it.
Right.
They bounce off each other. That's what it's
what's
like
going on here.
when the T-Birds get in front of the opposing net and the puck is there. No matter where they shoot, it just bounces off and doesn't go in. They got to reverse the polarization. T-Birds, Zach Fitzgerald off the near boards in his own zone, trying to get out to center ice. It was out to center Metcalf, and it gets popped over the glass at the scorer's table off the stick of Nate Thompson. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone with 2:28 to go here in the first period. And the last 10 to 12 minutes of this period, both teams almost like going through the motions. You can tell it's the third in as many nights for Seattle. As Chapman on the face-off circles back into his own zone. Nate Thompson trying to apply pressure. Got the puck to center ice. Metcalf knocked it down, but Vancouver played it. Tipped to the neutral zone, picked up by Ashton. He'll flick it in. Kicks off the inboards to the side of the goal. Bridges for Fitzgerald. Shot around the boards, left wing. Metcalf out the center over the stick of Thompson, breaking through the neutral zone. Played to the Vancouver blue line. Gertson coming after it. Off a bounce in front of the bench, dumps it in. T-Birds changing up behind the play as Tristan Grant gets to the puck, right side boards. It gets past him behind the play. We got a penalty coming up. Metcalf and Chapman gave Metz a little shove, and Metz answered the call, and they've dropped the gloves now in behind the Vancouver goal. Tyler Metcalf has got Chapman wrapped up and trying to push him up against the Dashers back there. Chapman trying to get free as they try to skate loose. Chapman trying to get a couple of shots in as Metcalf doing the same for Seattle. It's probably about an even match as far as size go, as Chapman got that right arm free momentarily, a couple of flailing shots. Metz trying to keep the jersey from going over his head, trying to get in that left arm now, and he gets spun to the ice. Down he goes. The linesman quickly jump on top of the two, and so play will stop. This happening with a minute 54 remaining in the period. Penalties at 18:06. We'll see. There is going to be an original penalty. We'll see how it all sorts itself out now with the Fighting Majors on top of it.
That a situation there, Tom. Tyler Metcalf, not a fighter, trying to do something to get his team ignited. Just trying to light a fire if he has to, and I believe Chapman actually is going to end up with the additional minor out of it. We'll have to see what Daryl Mitchell decides, but Metcalf did go after him behind the net, but there wasn't anything wrong with the initial hit. We'll have to just wait and see if the T-Birds end up shorthanded or with the man advantage. If they can get a power play and a goal here late, that'd be huge at the end of the period.
Mitchell skating over to the scorer's table. It made a motion to Dustin Johnner. I don't know if that was to say, yeah, you'll have the power play, or yes, the initial call was against you. He did make an arm motion to kind of call DJ over to the scorer's table.
I didn't see anything from Metcalf that would have indicated anything, unless he figures he went in high on Brennan Chapman, which he did a little bit. I'll give him that.
Chapman responded to something, and the question is,
to what? To the hit or to something else?
Or we have a power play either way with a minute 54 to go in period number one, with the T-Birds trailing in the period, skating 5-5. So these are all coincidental. It's a puck just outside the Vancouver blue line, shoved in by Gagnon. Take it in the right circle. Meiser with a flick on the backhand shot, rolling on goal, backhand shot again. Meiser can't get to the loose puck after it skated past Gagnon. Gags has been in front of the goal, but he just hasn't been able to get to the puck. Those penalties at 18:06 are going to be 2 and 5. As no power play, the puck at the Vancouver blue line, shot to center ice with now a minute 20 to go in the period. T-Birds trying to play it up the boards left wing. Meiser knocked it down off the half wall. It's picked up there by Bartley, trying to send it across the blue line. Picks the shot on goal from the face-off dot left of the Seattle net. Shot it high and wide. Bartley digs it off the right boards, tied up by Jackson, poked it free. Harsula trying to push it out of the zone. Gets knocked down. Jackson trying to fish it out of the skates of the referee. Couldn't get it past Daryl Mitchell. Bruce in front, throws it on goal. Loose puck, shot, score. And there's just a bad break. It hit the skate of the referee. Mitchell kicked in front of the Seattle net. There were two Vancouver players there, and they take a 2-0 lead with a goal with less than a minute to go in period number 1. A 2-0 advantage for Vancouver.
It's going to be the 8th goal of the year for Daryl May. Kyle Bruce will get 1 assist as Bridges made the initial save, but the rebound left there for May. Goal within the final minute of the period.
19:05 of period number 1, and that's a backbreaker. A late goal in a period at any time can really be a momentum killer. And T-Birds didn't have momentum as it was. They were down 1. They were trying to get into the dressing room, at least only down a goal, possibly tied, and instead they find themselves down by a pair as they clear the puck into their own bench. Even strength goal for Vancouver and Daryl May, and again, it's just a bad bounce. T-Birds trying to clear it up the boards, right side. They pushed it up the boards. The referee trying to jump out of the way. It hit his skate, kicked into the circle. Vancouver got it in front, and there were two Vancouver players there, and Brian Bridges made the first save but could not make the second. Lay off the face-off in the Seattle zone to Bridges left, pushed behind the Seattle net. Fitzgerald after it, looking to play it up the boards right wing. Got it to center ice, past Gibbons' stick. Played back by Vancouver to center ice. Thompson in front of his own bench, over skate of the puck, battling Bruce in front of the Seattle players, trying to work it free, getting help from Gibbons and Fitzgerald now. And finally the puck comes off the boards. Popped in the air at center ice. Thompson trying to bring it on side, but it's a two-line pass or a hand pass. Either way against Seattle, the play whistle down with 10 seconds to go in the period. And how do you, overcome bad breaks like that if you're Seattle? What can you do about that? You're working the puck off the right wall, coming out of your own zone, and you run into the skate of the referee. Just a bad break against Seattle, and it ends up with Vancouver basically 2-on-0 in front of the Seattle net. And they get another goal late in the period. And that should do it here for the first as Fitzgerald skates off the final few seconds of period number 1. A goal early and a goal late in the first 20 minutes of play tonight for Vancouver. And well, talking about the T-Birds power play struggles last year, of course, got a little spoiled with Brooks Laich and Tomas Mojis as part of the power play. But remember, last year at the start of the season, the T-Birds power play struggled, and they didn't have the injuries that they have this year, and they had Laich and Mojis. They finally clicked late November, December. T-Birds win the face-off to start the second period, get it to center ice, knocked down off the near boards at the red line. Driving it through center ice is Kyle Bruce, bringing it onside through the slot. It's tipped wide. Corshane takes a shot from the left circle that goes high. Kicked off the left board to the blue line. Logan knocked down. T-Birds steal it back. Tolpecchio. Left wing, cross the center ice red line, and it's brought in offside as it's knocked down with the stick by Vancouver at the blue line. Two T-Birds racing to that puck, came in ahead of it, and so a face-off in the neutral zone.
And Tolpecchio was crushed at the T-Bird bench as he dumped that puck in, gets up, kind of checks to make sure everything's in its proper place, and now he'll take a seat on the bench.
Dripping wet, he might go 160, but he can play physical at times. He's not afraid to take a hit, deliver a hit, and he has shown a great ability to skate as the T-Birds bring it to the neutral zone. Gibbons trying to bring it onside right wing. He's got Johnner with him, but the puck slides away from him. Gibbons and Johnner go after it behind the Vancouver net. Johnner got to it in the slot to the blue line. Wind-up shot on goal, knocked down, rebound in the pads of McLaughlin underneath them, and finally able to cover it up with Miser and Gibbons coming after it. Now Vancouver shoving and pushing on Dustin Johnner, but there again is an opportunity for Seattle to get back in this game. They get the puck on net. McLaughlin had trouble corralling it, and the T-Birds could not find the black puck in the blue crease, but it was there for the taking.
Tom, we've got a scoring change on Vancouver's second goal, scored at 19:04 of period number 1. Add a second assist to Mitch Bartley. So that goal, May, his 8th from Kyle Bruce and Mitch Bartley at 19:04.
Face off, Vancouver wins the puck in their own zone, but they try to shoot it around the boards, and we got a fight between Huxley and Grant outside the blue line. Grant has got a little size on Adam Huxley, but Adam never one to back down. Huxley trying to pull the jersey over the head of Huxley and get loose, but Grant having little success doing that. Huxley takes his jersey off, and Adams starts wailing away, blindly throwing that right arm right at the face of Tristan Grant, and Grant got smoked. Grant trying to duck out of the way as Huxley coming over the top with a couple of blows. Grant staying on his feet, trying to get back in this battle, but Adam Huxley's got him all tied up at the center ice red line, trying to duck under and pull his arm free, and there goes Huxley again, wailing away on Grant at center ice, and Grant just turning his head away from those blows as Adam Huxley just starts throwing bombs with that right hand. Oh,
he
an
landed an
uppercut got him.
there.
Linesmen have got to jump in here. There they go. They got to jump in and get Grant away from Adam Huxley before it gets a little worse than it was. Right at 56 seconds of the second period. We talked about it in the pregame show. Adam Huxley will do what you ask of him, whether it's play defense, chip in offensively, try to light a fire under your team by getting physical.
That's a case right there where some of the time he didn't even know where he was aiming at. He was just throwing, and he landed a few anyway, just from the matter of throw a sheer number of punches, you're going to land a few. Tyler Metcalf still in the box, serving out his remaining penalty time from the fight with Brennan Chapman in the first. And now Huxley will join him.
And after Grant takes all that punishment, the faceoff is in the Vancouver zone to the left of McLaughlin. Aaron Gagnon on the faceoff for Seattle, but it's won by Vancouver. Brule played it behind his own goal around the board's right side. Krause coming back near side to Ashton. Up to the line of Bartley. Centering pass in the neutral zone. Brule knocked off the puck as he tried to bring it onside. He got hammered by Zach Fitzgerald. T-Birds rivet off the glass and out. And if this goes far enough, it'll be icing. It will be an icing call on Seattle. And so the face-off back in the T-Bird zone as Bartley and Fitzgerald are jawing at each other up near the blue line at the Vancouver end. Harsula playing peacemaker, gets in between those two.
That's somebody I don't think right now Mitch Bartley wants to go anywhere near.
T-Birds just trying to light a fire under themselves here and trailing by 2 early in the second period. Still plenty of time left if you can get that spark. T-Birds will change up their defensive pair as Fitzy and Cole Simpson come off. Jackson and Barthel come on. T-Birds Harsula after the face-off one got it to center ice. Gagnon could not corral the puck on the pass at the center ice red line. Played back to the Seattle blue line. Jackson cross ice in his own zone. Barthel up the boards right wing through the neutral zone for Harsula. Knocked out the play. Brule sweeps it onside, coming right wing. Throw it in front, tipped by Seattle away, but a penalty on the T-Birds. Jackson called, or actually Barthel, I think, called for the slash. Vancouver's second power play opportunity of the game. The penalty coming at 1:43 of the second. And off to the box, a rather full box now for the T-Birds goes Clayton Barthel. Slashing the call from referee Darryl Mitchell. Power play will start for Vancouver with a face-off in the Seattle zone. Corshane winning the draw. Trying to play it in front of the Seattle net. Lost it in the high slot. Jackson will poke it down ice for Seattle. McLaughlin way out to his right to play the puck. Sweeps it up the boards right side. Brule spinning away from the pressure by Nate Thompson. Dumps it down behind his goal line to Logan. Logan skates behind the net with Thompson applying the forechecking pressure. Logan chips it ahead for Bruce at the blue line. Got it cross-ice left wing Brule. Brule will dump it in. Kicks off the inboards behind the Seattle goal. Jackson trying to fire it out. Held in by Logan off the boards left side, but he gave it away. And the T-Birds clear to the blue line and out to center ice. There's a loose puck after it goes. Nate Thompson poking it toward the goal. It went wide. Gertson after it now. Thompson trying to get off to the bench as Bruce played it at his own blue line. Thompson's off. On comes Dustin Johnner. The puck loose at the red line at center ice. T-Birds poke it back into the Vancouver zone. Gertson now heads off. As Meiser comes on, Brule will play it forward, and it's dumped onside by Bruce. Bridges behind the goal, lets it go for Fitzgerald. He'll shoot it up the board to the blue line, held in there by the Giants. Off the right boards, Corshane. He gets hammered by Fitzgerald, taken right off the skates. What a hit by Fitzy. And he has become a very, very physical player in the last week for Seattle. And most of the hits, even phantom elbows, are clean hits at that. So he's learned, and I think that may go back to his time in the NHL camp with St. Louis.
Absolutely.
That you can play physical and do it in a disciplined manner. Here's Bruce coming left wing and out. 30 seconds on the Vancouver power play. Gagnon takes Bruce right off the puck at the blue line, and as Bruce went to the ice, Gaggs got to the loose puck and shot it down into the Vancouver zone. In behind that, the Giants, Tyson Marsh with it. Holds it back there as Harsula puts on pressure. Drop pass right wing Brule up to center ice to Bruce. Bring it on side right wing with Bartley and Corshane. And again, Fitzgerald throwing the weight there. Knocked Bruce off the puck. It goes in behind the Seattle goal. Corshane knocked off the play by Fitzgerald. Left along the half boards for Marsh. Penalty is over. Barthel out of the box. Team's back at even strength. T-Birds get it up the boards right wing, but missing the pass for Barthel, and they're called for icing. We'll take a timeout here. 3 minutes plus gone here in period number 2. T-Birds trailing at 2-0. Back with more on T-Birds Radio.
Guys are even starting to shy away when they realize who it is. They'll turn or whatever so they don't get crushed. Wheel, go.
Got a mind with you. You got Topeko. Oh, you should have passed. Is there a penalty?
There should be.
Nope. T-Birds on a fast break down the right wing. Nate Thompson was trying to join that rush with Steve Gertzen. Gertzen coming in, taking the shot. Get a look at the replay there as momentum took him into the post, knocked the net free. Face off for the Vancouver zone to McLaughlin's left. 4 minutes into the second, T-Birds down by 2 on the face-off, pushed behind the goal. After it goes Topeko, he's wiped away from the play. It's dumped into the corner, left to the Vancouver net. Knocked off the boards, back to the point with it. Cole Simpson winds up, penalty on Seattle coming up for interference. And I believe it's going to be on Steve Gertzen.
Yes, it is. 4:11, the time of the penalty. Power play number 3 for Vancouver on the night.
Gertzen trying to free up some space for Simpson to get loose in the slot to take that shot, but he rubbed out the Vancouver player in the process. So interference called against Gertzen, and so Seattle short-handed. Time of the penalty is 4:11.
Seattle already with a short bench. This is not what you want to see.
Vancouver with the power play, winning the face-off. Tyson Marsh almost left it at his own blue line. Dump it left wing, and onside comes Polpan. He'll bang it behind the Vancouver, or the Seattle net. Polpan, this is his first shift, and he was listed as a scratch before the game, but he's out on the ice here for period number 2. Vancouver back to get it in their own zone. If the T-Birds clear it the length of the ice, Johnner ties up Marsh behind the net. Marsh got free, got it back to Polpan in behind the goal. Chased by Meiser. Meiser steals the puck. Meiser by himself trying to cut to the front of the net off the right boards. Couldn't get free. Gagnon knocked it down, couldn't hold the zone. Here comes Vancouver. Kalush to the blue line. Wind up, took the shot. Fitzgerald took him off the puck, off his skates and out of his helmet. Kalush had to pop the helmet back on. Cross ice patch the blue line. Vancouver, Logan, left side boards, Polpan. In the circle, cross ice pass, one-time shot on goal, knocked away by Bridges. T-Birds will clear it down ice. A minute gone on the penalty to Gertzen. Polpan backdated from his tender, drop it off the right side boards to Logan, being harassed by Harsula, just chips it to center ice. Gibbons coming after it. Gibby will bring it to the blue line and dump it back in. After it goes Harsula. Logan plays it behind his own net, coming out near side boards, Polpan. His pass out of the zone, hit Gibbons' skate, held in by Seattle. Corshane comes back, retreating to the puck. Played it behind his own net. Comes back around the boards near side. Corshane has it, left side boards, back to Polpan. Breaks away from the forechecking pressure from Gibbons, gets it to center ice. Bruce brings it on side right wing. Bruce taken by Simpson behind the Seattle net, trying to come around the near side boards with it. And a collision there. Simpson goes down. He took Lynch out of the play with him. Back to the blind to Logan at the point right side. Down low half boards Corshane. In front to Lynch. His turn and shot went wide. Off the near boards, Polpan turns. His shot blocked at the top of the near circle by Harsula. Tied up along the boards, trying to dump it out of the zone with 5 seconds left on the penalty. Here come the T-Birds the other way. Gibbons breaking right wing. Gibbons by himself, winds up, shot on goal. Pad save made by Jordan McLaughlin. And Polpan gets the rebound out. Penalty is over. Team's back at even strength. The T-Birds have done one thing well here so far tonight, and that's kill off Vancouver penalties. And they've had some odd man rushes shorthanded. And again, the T-Birds unable to capitalize on those odd man rushes in the game so far. Trailing 2-0, 13:30 to go in the second. Gertzen out of the box, plays the puck in front of his own bench. Bang it across the blue line, ties it up with Bruce coming in. Thompson trying to dig it out of the skates, knocks it behind the Vancouver net. McLaughlin behind there to play it. Polpan taken off the puck momentarily by Topeko. The puck rolling up the boards, left wing Lynch. Tied up by Gertzen, got it to center ice to Corshane, breaking with Bruce 2-on-2. Corshane got knocked off the play by Fitzgerald. Bridges went out behind that to play the puck. Corshane centers in front. Shot. Bridges makes the save. Rebound loose outside the crease at the left post. The T-Birds cleared it into the corner. I think the referee may have lost sight of the puck because he blew his whistle. And play has stopped. We'll take a timeout here. 12:59 to go. Period number 2. T-Birds still down by a pair on T-Birds radio.
Because that clearly was not covered. He just didn't know where it was.
And release the hounds. The boxes are empty.
For now.
Only 5 shots in the period. Vancouver's had 2 power plays. Man, got to get on the right page here. Offside against Seattle. Harsula coming in the right wing, trying to break in with Gagnon. Gagnon had to weave around one Vancouver player near the blue line and slowed him down coming into the zone. So offside against the T-Birds. Face-off outside the Vancouver zone off the near boards. Gagnon back to Barthel. Cross ice to Simpson. He'll play it in. Bang it into the corner left of the Vancouver goal. Giants on it quickly. Roberts trying to hold it in off the right boards and play it down low. Gagnon will chase into the corner. Fistrick behind his own net. Played it back there, coming off the boards with it, being harassed by Gagnon from behind. Gagnon spins him back in behind the net. Stays on Fistrick. Behind the Vancouver goal, the puck rolls around the boards near side. It's dumped to the blue line, not out. Gloved off the glass by Barthel, but Heyman takes it from there out to center ice for Vancouver. Dump it into the Seattle zone after Cole Simpson. Takes it behind his own net, trying to push it around the boards to Farmanara. Yash coming out right wing, rink-wide pass, trying to hit Roberts in stride. The pass out of his reach. And Vancouver will get to it. Fistrick back in behind his own goal, looking to break left wing and out. He'll weave to the neutral zone. T-Birds changing up. Fistrick brings it across the blue line, offside against Vancouver. Well, if you'll be entertaining corporate clients or colleagues celebrating a special occasion, or you just want a great night out with family and friends, the Thunderbirds are the best sports entertainment value in the Northwest. To find out how you and your group of 25 or more can save up to $3 per ticket, plus get 2 free tickets to another game, click on SeattleThunderbirds.com or call 206-448-PUCK. T-Birds lose the puck at their own blue line. Fitzgerald able to sweep it back to center ice. Off the boards in front of the Giants bench. Johnner takes it onside. Johnner into the zone. Johnner whips the shot toward the goal, deflected high off the glass. Behind the net, Johnner coming after it. Poked around the boards. Miser will get to it outside the circle, right side down low. Johnner runs into the referee. Gibbons coming to play it for Seattle. Tied up against the boards by Brule. Got it to Johnner in front, looking for Miser instead to Fitzgerald. Wind up shot on goal. Loose puck in front. Poked in at the right post. Ryan Gibbons and the T-Birds are on the board.
Finally, some hard work down low pays off. Ryan Gibbons at the right post bangs it past McLaughlin, his second goal of the year. Time of the goal, 8:32, and it's 2-1 Vancouver.
Lee Fitzgerald will get an assist. He took the shot.
So will Johnner for giving him the puck.
Johnner will get the second assist, unless Miser touched it there. I don't think he did. I think Gibbons played it cleanly. And so the T-Birds pull back within 1 with 11.5 to go in period number 2. Face off at center ice, T-Birds have it. Vancouver still only has 2 shots on goal here in the period. T-Birds, Gertson quickly in front of the net. He had the goaltender out trying to feed Thompson. It deflected away from Thompson off the stick of Chapman. Then a penalty, actually a fight in behind the plate. Gertson and Ashton had pulled the helmets off, and Ashton got a couple of good shots on Gertson. Now Gertson has turned the tables on Mark Ashton. Now Ashton with an uppercut after Gertson, and they go toe-to-toe down in the corner, and Ashton has got Gertson in a bad situation. Now Gertson turns the tables again. He's got his right arm free, and they're going toe-to-toe, just throwing punches at each other. Off the half wall, and an uppercut just caught Gertson on the chin, rocked him back on the blast by Ashton, and the two are separated finally by the linesman. So a couple more fighting majors. It's Sunday, guys. We've had 3 fights already in the game. 8:47, time of these penalties.
Should be coincidental. Fighting majors. Take this opportunity to recap the T-Birds' first goal of the game, brought to you by Dean Street and Associates, the only real estate call you'll need to make. Ryan Gibbons, his second of the season from Dustin Johnner and Zach Fitzgerald. Time of the marker, 8:32.
Seattle here in the period with 5 shots on goal. Vancouver with 2 for the game. Seattle out shooting the Giants 16-10. Face-off will come outside the Vancouver zone. We got a little problem over at the scores table. One of the sticks put in the wrong bench, so they get it to the right person. And we're still not ready to go because Vancouver is making a change on the ice. Finally now, they shut the bench gate. And the face-off, Aaron Gagnon was ready to take the draw, but he gets waved out of the circle before anything happens, so Farmanara will take this face-off for Seattle. Farm's trying to win the draw, but it's won by Vancouver. Polpan back in his own zone to Marsh. Marsh takes off the neutral zone, shoots it to the Seattle blue line, ducked, and dished back to center ice, rolling right by Gags. He's trying to skate to that puck at the center ice red line. Polpan played it right wing. Marsh will dump it in. Bridges behind the goal, knocked it down behind his own net, pushed it to the boards right side. First to get to it, Grant fires it wide behind the Seattle goal, kicks to the blue line and out of the zone. Picked up by Farmanara. He's got Topeko with him. Topeko backing up, trying to get back on side. Thought he had, but kind of in a precarious position there. He didn't realize initially where the blue line was as he was backing into the zone, waiting for a pass, and realized he came into the zone ahead of the play, tried to get back out, but couldn't do it fast enough.
Shots on goal, 16-10 in favor of Seattle, out shooting Vancouver 5-2 in the second.
Nate Thompson to take that draw for Seattle, won by Vancouver. Marsh flicks it back to center ice. Jackson will fire it back in for Seattle. Kicks in behind the goal. McLaughlin leaves it behind the net. First to get there, Johnner. He was tied up. McLaughlin gets back into the crease as Thompson tried to play it. It's tipped down ice. Seattle back to play it. Jackson at his own blue line, looking to bring it down ice. Right wing will dump it in. McLaughlin goes behind the net. Polpan comes to pick up the loose puck, chipped around the far side boards. Lynch off the skate of Corshane. Two T-Birds going after it. Hold the zone. Here's Johnner off the right boards. In front, tipped on goal. Shot at the near post. Went wide by Metcalf after McLaughlin made the initial save. Mets to the blue line. Fitzgerald slot, throws it toward the net. Tipped on goal by Nate Thompson. Covered up by McLaughlin at the top of the crease, and it's getting a little chippy now on ice. Well, fans stop by the T-Bird information stands at Key Arena and enter to win a fully catered dinner for four from Buca di Beppo. You'll enjoy a huge family-style Italian dinner served by waiters at a table located right off the rink with a full view of the hockey game. Drop your name in the box at the T-Birds' next home game and get set to win from the Thunderbirds and Buca di Beppo, Seattle's favorite family-style Italian restaurant, South Lake Union at 9th and Broad and in Linwood. Face out to McLaughlin's right. T-Birds win the draw. Gibbons throws it toward the front of the net, tipped down at the hash marks and tipped away by Kyle Bruce. Here come the Giants the other way, 3-on-3 rush. They'll dump it in. Bridges off to his right, comes out to play the puck, trying to chip it around the boards. Loose in the right circle. T-Birds will get to it to the blue line, but can't control it once it came out of the zone. Fistrick knocked it back in. T-Birds' Justin Meiser rolled it to the bench in front of the Vancouver players. It gets knocked down, and Meiser just kicks it down ice. McLaughlin coming over to play it for the Giants behind his net. Fistrick shoots it around the boards. And Meiser off the half boards all by himself, couldn't play the puck. He had a man in front of the net to pass to. Maybe he was thinking ahead one play or one move. There's a puck in front of the Seattle net, tipped wide in behind the Seattle goal, put back in front. Knocked wide back in behind the goal at the near post by Corshane. Gibbons ties up Bruce off the half wall. Corshane digs it out. In behind the goal, it bounces. Chased by Vancouver out the right side. Up the boards right wing, tipped down. Corshane flicks it behind the Seattle net. Jackson coming after it, spins away from the pressure by Lynch. High off the glass and gets it out. This will be an icing call on Seattle. 8:59 to go here in the second. We'll take a timeout. T-Birds trail 2-1 against Vancouver. Back with more on T-Birds Radio.
You'll enjoy a huge family-style Italian dinner served by waiters at a table that has a full view of the hockey game right here in Key Arena. Enter to win tonight from the Thunderbirds and Buca di Beppo, Seattle's favorite family-style Italian restaurants on South Lake Union at 9th and Broad and in Linwood.
Go get it.
Nice job, DJ. Too many passes. T-Birds starting to take control of this game. One too many passes on that flurry inside the offensive end in front of the Vancouver net. Ends up, they turn the puck over, but Vancouver right now still holding it steady at just 2 shots on goal in the period, just 10 for the game. Chapman brings it on side, lost it at the high slot, got it back. His shot knocked down at the right circle, turning and shooting on goal. Vancouver, and the save made by Bridges. T-Birds played up the right side, the shot from Jamison Orr. T-Birds get it to center ice. Vancouver's Chapman back at his own blue line. Johnner putting pressure on. Back to the Seattle blue line. It's played to center ice through the skates of Farmanara. Picked up by Bartley. He'll fire it in. Bridges sweeps it behind his own net. Barthel around the boards. It gets loose. Vancouver's got it in the slot. Knocked down by Johnner. Coming the other way. Here comes Seattle 2-on-2. Joining the rush comes Farmanara. 3-on-2 for Seattle. Farmanara in the slot. Poked away at the last second. That pass a little too slow getting there. Fistrick got to it. He got hammered by Farmanara. T-Birds are offside as they dump it back into the zone, and play will stop. Thunderbirds hockey tonight's second period is brought to you in part by Castrol Syntec. Under extreme heat and stress, Castrol Syntec performs better and outlasts conventional motor oil. Castrol Syntec, everything else is just motor oil.
Faceoff will be to the right of Brian Bridges, who has 8 saves on 10 shots.
And they draw one by Seattle, but overskating the puck was Harsulik. It popped in the air, and T-Bird goaltender went up to reach it out, and Fitzgerald put his stick up there to knock it out of the air. Vancouver was the first to touch after, so no whistle. Here comes Seattle. Harsula, right wing. On this slide comes Thompson. Put it in front, tipped away and over the glass. Logan stuck his stick out there as Thompson did, coming down the slot. It's checked up over the glass. The faceoff will be in the Vancouver zone, but Bruce, Seattle starting to play here in the second period with momentum.
Brian Bridges, who has 8 saves on 10 shots.
And they draw one by Seattle, but overskating the puck was Harsulik. It popped in the air, and T-Bird goaltender went up to reach it out, and Fitzgerald put his stick up there to knock it out of the air. Vancouver was the first to touch after, so no whistle. Here comes Seattle. Harsula, right wing. On this slide comes Thompson. Put it in front, tipped away and over the glass. Logan stuck his stick out there as Thompson did, coming down the slot. It's checked up over the glass. The faceoff will be in the Vancouver zone, but Bruce, Seattle starting to play here in the second period with momentum, getting control of the flow of this game.
They are, and last night in Everett we saw a number of odd man rushes. Tonight the T-Bird speed has resulted in a handful of odd man rushes also, just haven't finished some of those yet.
You know, on the pregame show, T-Birds assistant coach Rob Sumner said the last time they played Vancouver and fell down 2-0, as there's offside on Vancouver, they just simplified things, just said shoot the puck on net and go to the net.
Whatever works, that's a basic rule of hockey. Crash the net and see how many goals you can get. Doesn't matter how pretty it is.
Face-off coming up just outside the Seattle blue line off the boards, near side. Seabert's changing up. Aaron Gagnon on the face-off wins the draw. Fitzgerald cross ice in his own zone to Huxley. Chip it off the left boards, dump it into the Vancouver end. First to get there, Gibbons knocked it off the boards, comes popping up back to the blue line. Gagnon poked it down for Miser. Miser off the half wall. Skates with a puck through the skates of one Vancouver player trying to hold his own. Got taken off the play. Here's a 3-on-2 break the other way. Vancouver Heyman brought it on side. The shot was blocked by Fitzgerald. He'll blast it around the boards and out with Vancouver changing up. Marsh will play it back at his own blue line off the right boards. Cross ice near side to Fistrick. He'll fish it ahead. Bouncing to the Seattle blue line. Dumped back to center ice by Huxley. Battle for the puck through the neutral zone. The puck slides right to left. Huxley coming after it. Left it in front of the benches at center ice at the red line. Marsh tips it back ahead and dumped by Krause behind the Seattle net. Fitzgerald will sweep it around to Gibbons. Gibbons looking up ice. Throws it cross ice in the neutral zone. Miser bangs it into the zone, goes to the bench. Seattle changing up. Vancouver with the puck back in their own end. Polpan up the boards, left wing and out. Takes a big hit from Nate Thompson. Cashian coming on the ice, lost the puck at the Seattle blue line. T-Birds get it back to center ice. Here's a break. Metcalf down the right wing. Thompson coming with him. 2-on-2. Shot in front. Thompson reaching. Marsh had him tied up coming down the slot. Up the half wall. Shot on goal. Metcalf. Shot. He scores! What a shot by Tyler Metcalf. A no-look backhander inside the far post.
McLaughlin moved thinking he was going to go cross crease pass. Metz just tucked it underneath him. His 7th of the year, an even strength goal to tie the game at 2 at 14:04.
Tyler Metcalf did that once earlier this year, I think. A no-look backhand shot that just snuck in the far post, and he's done it again, so maybe trademarking that goal.
That one he put between his own legs. I know exactly which one you're talking about. And this one, he put it between McLaughlin's to tie the game up.
And he ties Dennis Tolpeko for the team leading goal scored now with 7. Check the assist as the puck loose at the Vancouver blue line. Metcalf's got it, turns, fire shot on goal. Saved by McLaughlin at the right post, back on top blue line. Quick shot through the slot, banged away after Cole Simpson blasted it, taken by Bruce out of the zone. T-Birds steal it at their own blue line, and they turn it the other way. Dumped into the zone on side, but Ashton gets to it. Simpson and Tolpecco with the assist and a two-line pass against Vancouver in the neutral zone. So both Tolpecco and Simpson, or I should say, and Metcalf getting a point on that goal, so they continue to share the points lead on the team as well as the goal scoring lead. Each has 7 goals, each now has 7 assists. And we are tied at 2. T-Birds out shooting Vancouver in this period now, 10-2. And they've scored twice to overcome a 2-0 deficit. For the second straight game, Seattle has overcome a 2-0 deficit against Vancouver. In fact, 2 straight games going back to last night against the Everett Silvertips on the road. They came from 2 goals down, 3-1 in the third. Meanwhile, icing called against Seattle, 5:12 to go here in the second. Face-off coming back into the T-Bird zone down to our left.
Nice thing about tonight is they didn't wait till the final 5 minutes of regulation to kick it into overdrive and have controlled much of the play here in period number 2.
Face-off is to the right of Bridges. Corshane and Gagnon ready to take the face-off, but they're going to wave Gags out, so Johnner will come and take the draw. Corshane back to the line. Ashton through traffic with a shot that blocked. Hit Gagnon. Gags steals the puck at the point. Can't get it out. Knocked it down. Bruce bouncing puck in the right circle. Dishes it in front, right through the crease. And Vancouver had a chance but couldn't get their stick on the puck. Tolpecco coming out of the zone, lost his stick, but it's picked up, brought onside by Seattle. Barthel had it poked off his stick. Corshane the other way, firing it to the Seattle blue line. Barthel left it out of the zone. As it hit him, it's dumped in by Vancouver. Fitzgerald behind his zone net with it. Vancouver is changing up in front of the play. Seattle looking to break out of the zone. Here they come. Johnner weaves his way from pressure. Drop it pass. Right wing and onside comes Meiser. Whips a shot blocked in the high slot. Picked up by Vancouver. Stolen by Johnner. Johnner keeps it in the zone. Left it along the half wall, but Gagnon's out of gas. He's going to the bench to complete a change. Kyle Bruce plays it behind his own goal. Roll up the left boards. Jason Roberts coming off the bench. Poked it down with his skates. Couldn't control it behind the Vancouver goal. Fistrick dumps it up the left side boards and out. Vancouver moving to center ice. Corshane will bring it onside. Jackson's back. Corshane taking off the play, trying to go around Jackson. Could not. Trying to hook Roberts off the puck. It's played instead by Ryan Gibbons back behind his own net. Jackson coming after it. Jax will shoot it up the left side boards off the glass high and out. Vancouver with 3:55 to go in the period has the puck back in their own zone. Logan cross ice in his own end. Fistrick plays it up the right boards to center. Stolen back by Roberts. Try to go cross ice. Tipped onside by Vancouver. Brule driven off the play by Roberts. Loose in behind the Seattle net. Bartley will go after it. After him goes Jackson. They run into a broken stick on the ice. Vancouver up the left boards. Trying to play it back through the slot. It's rolling to the blue line. Held in by the Giants. Logan at the point. Whips it toward the net. Knocked down in front off the goaltender. Still loose. Penalty coming up on Seattle. T-Birds looking to get that loose puck. It's loose in front of the net. There's a shot that gets deflected wide through the slot. Logan with a shot that's blocked. T-Birds can't get it out. Blue line shot high off the glass behind the Seattle goal. Tristan Grant puts it in front. Knocked down at the right post. Covered up by the goaltender with 3:12 to go in the second. A roughing penalty coming up on Seattle. Vancouver will get their 3rd power play of this period, 4th of the game.
It's going to be on Scott Jackson. Had to clear the front of the net, and he did it right in front of the referee, Mitchell. And a little too much as we've got extracurricular stuff now with Huxley over along the far boards.
16:48 of period number 2. Vancouver back on the power play. Vancouver still, despite all that flurry in front of the Seattle net, did not get an official shot on goal. Still holding steady at 10. Only 2 shots in a period in which they've already had 2 power play chances. Face-off to the right of Bridges. Nate Thompson out there to take the face-off against Adam Corshane. Last time Seattle was shorthanded, it was Steve Gertzen in the box. He's one of their best penalty killers, if not their best. He's back on the ice. Puck poked to the Seattle net, knocked away by Bridges. Comes back on top, Relay from the blue line. His shot blocked off the thigh of Thompson. Vancouver gets it back on top to Brule at the point. Down low, half boards to Lynch. Lynch trying to go back to Brule. Instead, circles back down low. Below the goal line, Corshane. Corshane back to Lynch in the corner right side. Back down low, Corshane below the goal line. Coming out far side, spinning away from the pressure by Barthel. In behind the net again he goes. Bringing it back out off the left boards. Throws it cross slot, shot. Big save by Bridges.
Great
denies
save.
Lynch. What a good job of moving left to right to the crease on his pads. T-Birds clear the puck out of the zone. Back to get it at his own blue line for Vancouver goes Joe Logan. Quickly fires it up the left boards, and that is tipped to the Seattle blue line. Fitzgerald keeps it out of the zone. Johnner comes after it, throws it down ice, trying to get around Logan. Goaltender forced to come out and make the play behind his net around the boards right side. Brule back behind his net to Logan. Metcalf coming after him. Pass comes up the left wing. Bruce comes to center ice. Brings it across the Seattle blue line. Bruce into the slot. Tipped away by the T-Birds. Loose puck on goal. Of course, Shane shot it from the high slot. Bridges makes the pad save. Steered into the corner out of the Seattle goal. Kyle Bruce knocked it back to the blue line. Brule down low in the corner. Vancouver, 40 seconds on the man advantage. Off the right boards with it comes Brule. There's a shot by Lynch, actually. Knocked out off the right side of the net by Seattle. Cleared around the boards. Logan had the funny hop bounce away from him and down ice. T-Birds quickly changing up their penalty killers. Vancouver trying to catch him in that change, but they were changing up as well. They bring it onside. Bruce slide it to Corshane, got behind the defense, shot scores. And Vancouver retakes the lead on a power play goal from Adam Corshane. T-Birds got caught trying to change those penalty killers who were gassed after a long shift. And Vancouver makes them pay. The fresh legs of Adam Corshane taking the pass down the right side.
Power play goal, the 14th of the year for Corshane at 18:24, and may not get an assist, Tom, but credit Jordan McLaughlin for coming out to almost the blue line to play that puck up and transition the play the other way on the change.
I'm thinking he'll get an assist on that goal. We'll have to wait and see how many other Vancouver players touched it. But Corshane with his 14th goal of the season, leading Vancouver in that department. So the power play goal, and that's the difference in the game right now. The Vancouver Giants have scored once on 4 chances. T-Birds 0 for 2 with a man advantage tonight. And the T-Birds momentum taken away from them, at least for the time being, on that goal by Vancouver to reestablish a lead, a 2-line pass against Vancouver. Bruce and Brule will get the assist, but you're right, you have to give McLaughlin an assist too for reading the play, seeing Seattle was tired, and Seattle, to make the change there in the penalty killers, had to come out of their own zone to their bench, which is at the far end of the ice from their goal. So they had to make a longer skate to the bench to make the change than did Vancouver. Vancouver hopped on right at the Seattle blue line. Gagnon throws it backhand wide of the goal. Topeko off the board's right side coming after it. Tied up. Puck still in the zone. Finally chipped out by Vancouver. Barthel back to get it. Less than a minute to go here in period number 2. T-Birds trailing it by 1. Played onside by Vancouver, but right there is Barthel. Fitzgerald out of the zone, tipped away from a breaking Gagnon. Seattle got it back at center ice. Barthel racing to it. The puck was loose, dumped back into the Seattle zone. Grant and Fitzgerald chase it down low. Grant takes Fitzy hard up against the boards behind the net. Gagnon poked it free, comes in front of the Seattle net. T-Birds used the glass to dump it to center ice. Hit a Vancouver player coming into this giant zone. Icing waved off. Fistrix got it. Threw it to the blue line, stolen by Seattle. Here's Miser, puts on the brakes, winds up, shot it wide on the glove side. Gibbons trying to put some traffic in front of the goal with his big body. Back to the blue line. Jackson shot bouncing as the horn sounds, and the period comes to an end. Well, Seattle winning the period, outscoring Vancouver 2-1, but Vancouver's second period goal gives them a 3-2 advantage as they had scored. Fitzgerald back on the points. Corshane, who had a goal and assist already in this game for Vancouver, wins the face-off at center ice. Back to Chapman in his own zone. Brennan Chapman gets it to center ice. T-Birds get it back there. Scott Jackson flicks it off the glass high to the blue line. Knocked off the glass with a glove by Darren Lynch. Taken by Nate Thompson up to the other boards and dumped into the zone. After it goes Gertson. Chased it behind the Vancouver goal. Drives with 2 Vancouver players into the corner, trying to poke it free for Thompson behind the net. Thompson knocked it down behind the goal. Metcalf trying to get to it, does. He had a good idea to try to center it for Gertson coming from behind the goal, but it was blocked and deflected away, and Vancouver gets it to center ice. Played down the left side boards by Chapman behind the Seattle goal, coming around the near side boards. Corshane has it, lost it in the left circle. Metcalf coming the other way for Seattle. Rink wide pass in the neutral zone to Gertson. Gertz lost it, pokes it across the blue line, turns to the bench now on a change. Vancouver with it back in their own zone. A minute into period number 3. Seattle down by 1. Gibbons back to his blue line to Barthel. Cross ice there. Huxley will get it to center ice. Knocked back into the Seattle end by Miser. Miser gets it back from Huxley coming to center ice. Getting away from the hit by Grant, dumps it across the blue line. McLaughlin goes behind the net, stays on his skates to play it around the boards, waiting for it at the point is Huxley. Trying to lift it to the front of the net, intercepted by Vancouver. They move it down ice, right wing and in. Onside comes Brule. Swept off his stick by Barthel, goes behind the Seattle net. Huxley Lets the puck slide around the board, just knocked down by Vancouver. Here's Grant behind the goal, in front, right through the crease, shot, big pad save, left leg by Bridges. Grant all by himself in front, shot it, and Bridges stuck that left leg in front of the shot to knock it down. Huxley behind his own net, trying to sweep it around the near side boards. Miser tied up in the corner, looking for some help. Miser and Barthel get it to the blue line, but not out. Held in by the Giants, dumped behind the Seattle goal. Huxley going after it. Huxley coming out from behind his own goal, left side, push it up to Miser at the blue line. Justin will flick it on a bounce to the Vancouver end. Giants knock it down there. Teepert's changing up. Simpson coming off the bench, fell down, gets up. The puck comes to him in the Seattle zone. Sweeps it behind his goal to Jackson. Banging up the boards right side, Farmanara mishandled as a shot on goal. Score! Tipped on and in. Goal for Bartley gives Vancouver the 2-goal lead back at 4-2. And again, the T-Birds with a weak clearing attempt off the right boards by Farmanara. And Vancouver makes him pay.
Nice tipped in goal by Mitch Bartley, his 7th on the year. Time of the goal, 2:11. But again, problems in the defensive zone. We saw it last night at Everett. T-Birds pay for it there. Back down by 2.
And you just can't be that nonchalant about the puck sometimes, just thinking that because you touch it that it's going to go out of the zone. There's another team on the ice. There's a puck tipped on goal and a save made by Bridges at the top of the crease. Face off in the T-Bird zone to Bridges right. Vancouver now up to 18 shots. They were at 2 until they got that last power play, 2 in the second period until they got that last power play, and they got 6 shots on it. And into the second period with a total of 16. Now they get the first 3 shots, or the first 2 shots of the third period and score on 1. And they've come out here on a mission to start this period, putting a lot of pressure on the Seattle end. T-Birds having trouble clearing the puck out of their own zone. Left at the blue line again by Seattle. Cleared through the zone by Vancouver. Barthel hooked into the corner by Daryl May. Nate Thompson trying to come over and help his defenseman out. Knocked out by Kalush off the half wall, left of the Seattle goal. Kalush trying to spin on Barthel. Puck goes behind the net. May centers it in front. There's a shot on goal, swept away. Bridges got enough on that shot by Kalush, who cut right to the front of the net, uncontested. Seattle at center ice. Gertzen onside right wing. Back to the point. Thompson knocked off his stick and out. Thompson back to his own blue line to Fitzgerald. Fitzy, headman pass to the neutral zone for Gertzen. Went right past him. Icing call on Seattle. We'll take a timeout here. T-Birds trailing again by 2. 4-2 Vancouver up. Early in the third. Back with more on T-Birds Radio.
The only assist went to Pulpen. Defensive zone coverage will kill
Another
you.
bad turnover in your own zone. We got to hit the mark. Shoot. Icing offside whistle against Seattle. Looked like Huxley had kept that puck on the blue of the blue line, and it did not come out of the zone, but the linesman who was standing behind Huxley, not along the wall where he normally would to call an offside, blew the whistle.
Huxley shot the puck after the whistle too. Be careful, sometimes you get called for a penalty doing that.
Off the face-off, Vancouver back to their own end with the puck. Chip it off the boards right side and out. Miser knocked it down. Johnner flicked it in. McLaughlin came out to play it, couldn't reach it, but his defenseman back to play it, gets it to center ice. T-Birds in front of their own bench. Fitzgerald with it. Back to Simpson. Back to Fitzgerald off to his right. Fitzy will take off to center ice. Drop pass left wing and into Miser. Miser throws it in front down the slot, coming Gibbons. Gibbons tied up through the slot, trying to take the puck in the corner. Miser's got it. He had looked for Fitzgerald coming off the blue line, but the puck was deflected. Miser behind the net to Johnner. From behind the goal, looking in front. Gibbons fanned on it. Back to Simpson. Wind-up shot blocked. Got its own rebound. Back over, skated it, though, as he was going left. The puck slid right. Comes back to plate at his own blue line. Here's Johnner. Lost it in his skates. Got it back. Slides it to Miser. He'll bring it on side. Whips a shot on goal. Oh, he just missed. He had the goaltender beat on the glove side and shot it wide at the left post. He goes after it behind the net. Johnner worked it free. Spinning behind the net, lost an edge, went down. Gibbons can't get to it, trying to chase it around the boards right side. Bartley and Gibbons, and Vancouver comes away with it. Here comes Corshane, drop it on side, and there's a shot deflected wide off the stick of Orr. Seattle slides it ahead to Gibbons at the blue line. He's got Fitzgerald and Metcalf coming with him. Drop it into Fitzy. Fitzy trying to get it Metcalf from the circle. Shot on goal. Save at the right post by McLaughlin. Vancouver in their own end, losing the puck to Nate Thompson. Metcalf down low in below the goal line with Logan. They tie up against the inboards. Metcalf trying to work it free. Does. After it off the half boards. Seattle can't hold the zone. It comes out to center ice right wing. Vancouver trying to bring it on side, but no room for Cochane as Barthel takes him up against the Dashers. Seattle's Jackson bangs it to center ice. Vancouver at the red line, knocked it down. Back to their own zone. Seattle's Nate Thompson coming after it, couldn't get to it. Behind the play, a Vancouver player falling down. Metcalf rocks on onside. Thompson whips a shot that's blocked by Logan. Marsh in the corner after it. Plays it behind his own net for Logan. 14.5 to go in the third. T-Birds trail it 4-2. They fell behind 2-0 in the first. Worked back into a tie in the second. Gave up a late power play goal. And then an early goal here in period 3 has given Vancouver that 2-goal lead back. There's a shot in front of the Seattle. Jackson knocked it down. Couldn't control it. 2-on-1 break for Vancouver. Bridges makes the stop at the right post. Kicks away the rebound. And Jackson will slide it up the boards left wing and out. Not far enough to be icing Pulpin back at his own blue line. Gave it away right there. First to get it is Gagnon. Gags has to sweep it wide. Looking for some help. Got it to Telpecco behind the net. Coming out in front. He tried to throw it through the skates of the defenseman for Fitzgerald coming off the blue line. Instead, Vancouver will ice it. And again, we talked about it, Bruce. If there's breaks to be had in this game for Seattle, they're bad breaks.
Most definitely. They've had 3 or 4 of them here already in the third.
Look at this replay here. It's a great idea. Telpecco behind. Well, you don't get to see it, but he came from behind the goal. He saw Fitzgerald pinching it from the blue line, coming down the slot. He tried to throw it to him. Tried to go through the defenseman's skates. It hit the skate, and Vancouver able to clear it out. T-Birds trying to apply some pressure here to get back in this one. Plenty of time left if they can, as we said, play much as they did in the second period when they, for the first 18.5 minutes of the second, outplayed Vancouver and got 2 goals to tie it up, only to give Vancouver that late power play goal. Vancouver did not have a lot of shots until the final 2 minutes of the second, but all you need is that one to get in, and that's what they got. Then added an early goal here in the third after the T-Birds failed to clear out of their own zone. T-Birds bang it back into the Vancouver end. Giants behind their own goal, chipping around the boards right side to Bartley. Gibbons knocked him off the play. Johnner can't get to it. Ashton behind his goal out the far side with it, Vancouver. Chapman got it to center ice. Here's Brule, a headman pass for Bartley, intercepted by Seattle. Gibbons forward to Johnner in the neutral zone. Johnner trying to flick it past Brule, but Brule knocked it down at his own blue line. And a big hit in front of the Vancouver bench is Dustin Johnner trying to get off the ice. Grant hammered him into the boards, and the linesman not allowing Johnner to get a little retribution. Here comes Roberts on side left wing. Roberts chased it down low, and it's flipped off his stick and sent to center ice by Vancouver. Seattle's Adam Huxley back to play it. Cross ice pass near boards. Huxley loses it off the boards, but Roberts will chase it down for Seattle. Up the boards right side, banged out to center ice. In the neutral zone, back to the Vancouver blue line, and the Giants will shoot it back the other direction and behind the Seattle net. Bridges played it up the right side. Ursula couldn't get it out at the blue line, held in by Logan. Bangs it back in behind the Seattle goal. Huxley coming after it, tied up. Heyman walking off the board, throws it on net. Kick save at the left post made by Bridges. Telpecco knocked off the puck. Vancouver turns it back in. They're starting to roll now as they put the pressure on in the Seattle zone. It's right in front of it. There's a shot. Kalush. Big save off the right shoulder. Bridges back in front to Kalush. He tried to throw it to Heyman in the slot. Threw it wide. At the blue line, Fistrick holds the zone. In behind the Seattle net, Thompson trying to get it to it for the T-Birds. Got it to Barthel. He'll bang it off the glass right side, dump it down ice. Icing will be the call on Seattle. And we will take a timeout. Be back with more of the third. T-Birds trail 4-2 on Thunderbirds Radio.
Add Corshain to that star list.
Yeah, I was going to put him on there, and then I was going to put Metcalf, I think. I'll wait to see who Seattle star will be.
Well, you got Kyle Bruce, too, that's got 2 points.
Yeah.
Hasn't done much else, though. That's out.
Well, the very latest T-Bird news, real-time scoreboard updates from throughout the Western Hockey League, links to great hockey sites worldwide, and everything you need to know about your Seattle Thunderbirds. Log on and bookmark the all-new official Website of the T-Birds, www.seattlethunderbirds.com. Check out the Fan Zone, Kids Club, the multimedia section, and download free T-Bird screensavers. The next time you're online at seattlethunderbirds.com. T-Birds, again, close but not quite. They have the puck in the slot. Got it to the front of the net, couldn't score. Another chance. Kicked into the corner. Collision down there. Aaron Gagnon trying to work it free, getting help from Steve Gertzen coming off the half wall to the blue line. Simpson winds up, shot deflected off the diving Kyle Bruce. Picked up by Gertzen, takes it deep into the corner right side. Trying to spin him off the play successfully, Vancouver. They get to the blue line. Cole Simpson out of the zone, has it for Seattle. Gets it ahead to Metcalf, trying to kick it forward. Got it onside right wing. Gertzen giving chase. T-Birds changing up behind the play. Gertzen behind the net, overskates the puck as he's hit by Fistrick to the blue line. Held in by Fitzgerald coming off the bench. Johnner has it all on the half boards right side. Fitzgerald trying to pick it up, but it rolls past him before he could get to it. Sent to center ice by Vancouver. Gibbons will bang it in. In behind the net, played by the goaltender McLaughlin. Johnner puts the hit on Ashton, but Ashton got it around the boards right side. At the blue line, it comes out to center ice. Fitzgerald will go back to get it in his own zone. Fitzy will bang it off the boards right side ahead. Johnner trying to chip it forward for Gibbons. It gets knocked into the Seattle bench, though, and that'll stop the play with 10 minutes to go in the game. Seattle is down by 2. Vancouver now with this third period onslaught, out shooting the T-Birds for the game 23-22, a marked difference from what they had done in period number 2. It's almost like they were laying in wait, knowing this might have been Seattle's third game in 3 nights, that Seattle might tire out. And they just kind of were very patient in the second, though they lost that 2-0 lead. And then they've come out of the locker room on fire here, storming the Seattle net. And the T-Birds look like right now that they are on the tail end of a 3-3 nights with a short bench. Play at center ice. Johnner trying to bring it onside left wing and does. Got it to Miser in the high slot. Whips a shot toward the net to blocked. Ashton lost his stick, knocking that shot down. Jackson holds the point for Seattle. Down low, left side boards to Gibbons. Gibbons trying to cycle it down low in the corner for Johnner. Chapman stepped in front, and it's cleared down ice by Vancouver. And icing will be the call against the Giants with 9.5 to go in the contest.
You have to credit the Giants, though, for taking it to the T-Birds here in the third period. Seattle with just 1 shot. Vancouver now with 6.
Face off after the icing, coming back into the Vancouver zone. Down to our left, it'll be to the left of McLaughlin. And there's a quick shot by Harsulo that got deflected up into the netting and behind the Vancouver goal. So there will be a face-off in the Vancouver zone. And Bruce, did I just hear your mom get a...
I was going to say I'm going home. I guess we're going home with flowers, but...
What'd you do wrong?
Well, there's a laundry list. Where do we want to start?
Quick shot, blue line. Fitzgerald blocked out of the zone. Here's a break for Vancouver. Good job by Huxley to get back. Stopped a potential 2-on-1 odd man rush by Vancouver. The Giants will bring it on side all the way behind the Seattle net. Skated around the near side boards by Kalush. Lost it. Topeko tipped it, the blue line not out. Glove down off the glass by Vancouver from the point. Fistrick. Topeko got to it. Got it out of the zone for Roberts. Roberts just outside his zone in. Lost it. Poked out the puck. Kalush brought it back in. May will tick it behind the Seattle goal. Huxley coming after it for the T-Birds. Rolled it right side boards. Roberts will chase it down. Ahead of the blue line and out of the zone. Harsula cross the red line, dump it in. T-Birds changing up behind the play. McLaughlin in behind his own goal. Topeko trying to free it up back there. Ran into the Vancouver player. Couldn't knock it loose. T-Birds trying to hold the zone. Off the right side boards with it. Harsula trying to flip it around the Vancouver player. He did so, but the puck taken by Vancouver, shot on goal. Bridges had it pop off his blocker into the air. Vancouver is changing up as Jackson will chase it down into the corner right of the Seattle net. 8:20 to go here in the contest. T-Birds trail it by 2. Rink wide pass onside. Farmanara trailing it. Johnner poking it toward the net. He gets hooked up. Takes the puck behind the net with Lynch on his backside. Rolled up the right side boards. Cole Simpson trying to feed it back to Johnner. It was past him. Played by Vancouver up the boards left side to Lynch. Check it to the blue line. Knocked off the stick of Cole Simpson. The center ice. Vancouver. Bruce trying to bring it onside. Did so without the puck. And offside called against Vancouver. 7:55 to go in the game. T-Birds trail it 4-2. And the faceoff coming back into the neutral zone. Thunderbirds hockey in the third period is brought to you in part by the Verizon Super Pages. To remind residents of Seattle who want to get things done, the Verizon Super Pages can help. Use the new Seattle Snow King Super Pages to find people and businesses. It's more than just yellow pages, it's the Super Pages. Puck taken out of the Seattle zone. Metcalf lost his stick, and then Vancouver brought it back in offsides. Another whistle here. with 7:46 to go in the game. Well, Vancouver with about a minute and a half to go in the second period had only 12, or I should say had only 10 shots in the game, and 8 of those 10 had come back in the first period. Since then they've added another, well, the 6 they had on the power play, plus the 8 they have here in this period. So 14 of their 24 shots have come in the last 14 minutes. T-Birds poke the puck to center ice but can't control. Played in behind the Seattle net by Zach Fitzgerald. Spinning away from the pressure back there by Brule. Up to center ice. Thompson, drop it right wing Metcalf, throw it across the blue line as he spun off the right boards. Gertson chased it down. Ashton tying him up against the boards behind the net. Vancouver will throw it down ice. Racing back to get it at his own blue line is Barthel. Bart back to center ice, left wing to Thompson through the neutral zone. At the blue line taken by Metcalf, brought onside with a steal. Puts a shot toward the net as he gets upended. Shot went weakly on goal and McLaughlin cleared it away. Then it's sent to center ice. T-Birds, Gertson, Travelers were trying to get on time, but Huxley's not going to wait for his team to get out of the zone. He's going to play it in and get a faceoff outside the Vancouver blue line.
At this point, the time is more critical than where the faceoff is. 6:45 left in regulation. T-Birds trailing by a pair.
Faceoff just to the Vancouver side of the center ice red line. Off the face-off, Huxley takes it back to the Seattle zone, and he overskated the puck, fanned it, gave it away to Kalush. Kalush to the front of the net, puts a shot on net, and Bridges got the stick out to deflect that one over the crossbar. Here's Johnner behind his own goal. Coming up the boards left wing, trying to get it to Miser, coming out of the zone with it, Gibbons, and he flicks it over the glass up into the seats. Just inside the Vancouver blue line, but that face-off will come back to center ice. 6.5 to go in the period, end the game. T-Birds down 2. We'll take a timeout, be back with more on T-Birds Radio.
Ay, ay, ay. What you do, what you do, what to do.
Well, third to 3 nights with a short bench, it's finally, this is caught up with them.
Yeah, I mean,
They haven't played badly as they had last night. I mean,
it's just one of those where you...
it's a good team. You've got a better effort, but again, you can't score.
Nice move. Oh.
T-Birds down a pair as they lose the puck at their own blue line. Johnner gets it back to center ice. Headman pass to Gibbons, breaking left wing, just off the edge of his tape on his stick, trying to control it. Went after it, but couldn't get to it. Vancouver will shoot it out to center ice. Fitzgerald for Seattle at his own blue line. Drop pass left wing. Miser will bring it onside with Gagnon. Miser knocked out the puck as he gained the zone. It's fallen on top of by the Vancouver player Kyle Bruce, so a face-off after he freezes it up with 5.5 to go in the contest, and the T-Birds trailing it by a count of 4-2. The T-Birds have never led in this game. They were down 2-0 at the end of one, got it back to 2-2 late in the second. Vancouver got the go-ahead goal and a power play goal at the end of the second period. There's a shot from the right circle by Harsula. Pad save left leg by McLaughlin. And then Vancouver added to their 1-goal lead early in the third with a goal at 2:11 of the third period. Topeko back along the near boards in his own zone at Jackson, trying to flip it ahead for Gagnon. Jackson chased it to center ice. Topeko breaking. He's got Harsula. Throws it to Harsula. In fact, put it on net because he couldn't get the pass through, and the save off the right shoulder left in front of the goal, but the T-Birds couldn't get to the net. Big hip check there by Zach Fitzgerald at the blue line. Took Kyle Bruce right up in the air off his skates. Jackson has it for Seattle to Fitzgerald. He'll throw it ahead to center ice, too far for Topeko, but it tipped off Pulpan stick, so icing waved off. Vancouver back at their own blue line with it. Lynch drops to center ice. Thompson hustling, steals. Thompson coming down the slot. There are 2 Vancouver players, though, and they took him off the play. Seattle back to their own blue line. To center ice with it, Thompson. Looking for some room down the right boards, just flips it in. Ashton going after it. Thompson giving chase. Chipped up along the glass. The boy knocked down there. Wind-up shot. Simpson shot and deflected off Gertson's stick wide at the left post. Metcalf behind the net. Tried to throw it out in front. It hit the side of the goal. Metcalf got it back from Chapman in the corner. Trying to spin off the boards away from Chapman. Plays it back along the half wall. Into Thompson, back to Metcalf. His shot as he's falling down went wide. Oh, he fell hard, too, on his backside there as he tripped over the Vancouver player. There's a wraparound at the left post. In the crease, saved by McLaughlin. Thompson, maybe in that case, trying to do too much because he had Metcalf camped out all by himself. If he throws that to Metz, Metz has got a better shot on goal. Big hit by Metcalf on the Vancouver player going to the bench. Meanwhile, the puck comes back into the Seattle zone, played by Simpson. Up the boards left wing for Miser too far. At center ice at the red line, played back into the Seattle zone by Fistrick of Vancouver. Barthel up the boards left wing, Miser breaking with John, or 2-on-2. Gibby cuts into the front of the net. Miser gets ripped off the puck at the top of the right circle. Fitzgerald throws the puck at the red line at center ice, knocked it down, got it back. Bartley took it away and flips it across the Seattle blue line. What did you see? Ryan Gibbons just whipping through the zone after that 2-on-2 is developing to try to make it a 3-on-2. He went right by his teammate over on the right wing.
He's got good size and speed. That's one of the reasons Phoenix looked at him and drafted him.
Looked like a shot out of a gun there, the way he was blowing by everybody. Unfortunately, Miser got double teamed off the puck at the top of the near circle.
Gibbons part of the West Vancouver connection the T-Birds have. The other one, Yashar Farmanara.
Puck dumped into the Seattle zone by Vancouver. 3 minutes to go in the game. Seattle trailing it by 2 as Gagnon looks to break out from behind his own goal. Cuts to center ice, left wing past Opeko. Weaves his way to the blue line onside for Farmanara, reaching at the top of the right circle to play it. At the blue line, held in by Jackson. Jackson throws it behind, then it comes out near side to Opeko. One-time shot on goal. Pad save made by McLaughlin. DT's got some good aim there. Good shot. He had to one-time it because the goaltender was momentarily out of position, so he's trying to get that shot off before McLaughlin could get back in the crease. So he didn't have time to set up for that shot. Here's the puck in front of the Seattle net. Opeko has it out of the zone. Farmanara trying to use his speed to get by the Vancouver players in the neutral zone, could not. And heads to the bench after he flipped it in. Vancouver plays it back to center ice. Simpson back to get it in his own end for Seattle. 2:10 to go in the game. Seattle, Simpson, or Thompson, I should say, to Huxley up the boards left wing. Gertson pokes it on side, then lost it outside the blue line. Thompson could not get it. Comes back to the Seattle zone. Simpson will play it. Cross ice in his own end for Metcalf. Tyler flicks it off the right boards and out. Pulpan knocked it down in front of the Seattle bench. Metcalf picks it up. Here comes Tyler through the neutral zone. He'll bring it on side. Weaves his way on side with Thompson. Back to the point. Huxley whips a shot on net. Tick on the goaltender. In front. Oh, and Metcalf looking for his second. The puck was bouncing as he took to one-time it out of the air. He had an open end at the left post. Huxley at the blue line. Whips another shot. And again, Opeko in front. Can't get a stick on that high shot. And Vancouver will get it out to center with 1:28 to go. Well, T-Birds were in proper position. That puck was just about 6 inches off the ice as Metcalf tried to redirect it out of the air. That's tough to do when the puck's not sitting on the ice. To bat it out of the air. T-Birds dump it back in. Marsh will shoot around till Opeko off the half wall right side, keeps it in. Gibbons down low in the corner. Knocks Pulpan off of his skates. Pulpan played it with his hand forward, trying to get it away from Gibbons.
T-Bird goal is empty also.
The T-Birds have pulled the goaltender for the extra attacker with a minute to go in the game. Down by 2. Here's Jackson at the blue line, trying to throw it on net. Behind the net, Gibbons tips it in front. Miser from his knees inside the crease, trying to dump it in. It's in. Goal! T-Birds are back within 1.
I think they're going to give it to DT. I think he was the last one to touch it. McLaughlin is beside himself at referee Daryl Mitchell for not blowing it dead. But if it's not covered up, you don't have to blow it dead.
Time of the goal is 19:13 of the third period. T-Birds within 1 at 4-3. Miser was on his knees in the crease trying to bat it forward. I don't think he got a piece of it. We'll see if it is Dennis Opeko who banged it in at the far post. T-Birds will have to put the goaltender in at least for the face-off at center ice.
This was the rugby scrum right here in front of the goal. And
you know what? The puck was in the net and nobody knew it. The referee finally noticed it back there.
The light finally came on.
So T-Birds within 1. The face-off at their blue line. Here's Fitzgerald with it. Trying to get to that center ice red line and dump it in. There goes Bridges off. T-Birds bring it onside. Johnner down low. Gertson out of the corner. Tied up by Ashton. 35 seconds to go in the game. Seattle down by 1. They tied up against the boards as Opeko does get credit. There'll be a face-off of the Vancouver zone. Miser will get the assist. His work in the crease pays off. Topeko, meanwhile, Ray takes the leading goal scored for Seattle with his 8th. Nate Thompson will come on and take this face-off for Seattle to the right of McLaughlin. One more time, Seattle's going to take a timeout. We'll take one quickly as well. T-Birds down 1 with 30 seconds left in regulation. Back with more on T-Birds. Corshane. Thompson on the draw, tied up, back to the top of the circle. Johnner trying to fish it out. The player, Lynch, fell on it. Metcalf throws in front. Corshane to the blue line, out of the zone, all the way down ice. And will this go far enough to be icing? No, icing waved off. I think it was actually off a Seattle stick anyway. We're down to 15 seconds. Seattle net empty. Johnner's got it, running the other way. To center ice to Gertzen, slide it right wing to Metcalf, too hard. Fistrick will blast it out of the zone. Empty net to shoot at for Kyle Bruce. The puck goes wide, he won't get a shot. They'll just freeze it up against the boards, and that'll be it. Another game effort for the T-Birds, but they fall short. Vancouver with a win. Final score, Giants 4 and the T-Birds 3. Welcome back here on ice level. The T-Birds falling tonight at home to the Vancouver Giants by the final score of 4-3, and another chance late in the game to come back and try to get a tie, but unfortunately that's kind of been the story for the T-Birds. We're joined here by Tyler Metcalf, where you fall behind and you just don't have enough at the end to catch up.
Yeah, we got a little behind at the start there, and it was the case of a little too late, and it's too bad. We were playing hard, but just couldn't quite get that last one.
You did a good job in the second period to get this game back tied up at 2. Talk about that goal you scored. I think it's the second time this season that you've shot off the backhand without looking at the net and scored.
Yeah, I came around the net. Puck was at the point, threw it to me, stopped it, and just trying to get pucks on net and get some rebounds, and was fortunate enough to go in.
That's something you work on in practice?
Yeah, we're trying to hit the net all the time, or we're doing a lot of push-ups if we don't hit the net.
Well, again, it's a tough loss here at home against a very good Vancouver team. I know you'd beaten them previously here at home, and you played them well this year, but right now, if there's a break to be had on the ice for the T-Birds, it's a bad break. Things aren't bouncing your way.
Yeah, I guess so, but a week of practice can never hurt.
Well, congratulations on the goal. Disappointing, I know, to take the loss, but go back at them next Friday up in Vancouver.
Yeah, right on. Thank you.
Tyler Metcalf, one of the stars of the game here for Seattle. Going to be joined now by the T-Birds assistant head coach, Rob Sumner. And Rob, we talked about this before the game, and we've talked about it quite often here in the early part of the season, that you have to play 60 minutes of hockey. This was the third game in 3 nights, and I think both teams came out slow the first period. You had a good second period, which usually hasn't been your strength this season, but a couple of bad bounces go against you. They get the power play goal and the early goal in the third, and that spells the difference.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. We spotted them 2 again right off the bat, and we can't do that against good teams. And I thought we played a fairly competitive first period. But the way it went was we made a couple critical mistakes and they ended up in the back of our net.
Certainly a better effort than last night in Everett, and that's the funny thing about hockey. Last night you don't play as well and you get a tie and a point. Tonight you play I thought a little bit harder out there on the ice, and you end up with no points and a loss.
Well, that's the case some nights, and we just got to find a way to get out of this and end up with more goals at the end of the night. But we were really pressing again, and a couple guys made great efforts, and we really got the puck to the front of their net well tonight, but we didn't get rewarded all the time.
Well, hopefully we'll get healthy. I know we got a game in Vancouver on Friday night, a few days off to get rested and a couple of hard practice and go back at the Giants up in their building on Friday.
Well, we'll be ready. We know we're going up against a good team.
Rob, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tom.
T-Birds assistant head coach Rob Sumner. T-Birds fall tonight to Vancouver 4-3. Back on radio with a recap on T-Birds Radio.